Alright guys, today is the day I'm going to be showing you guys how to marinate a pernil, which is not said correctly by me, but it's pernil, or however you pronounce it. But anyway, my friend was asking me to make it, so I'm going to show you guys how to do the garlic and oregano marinade for it. I also did a little bit of sofrito, just with some fresh ingredients to add a little bit to it as well. And I'm going to be trying some annatto seeds oil on it, since I have them from my other friend telling me how to make a soup with them. So I've read that it adds a little bit extra flavor to it, so it can't hurt, right? We'll see how it goes. So I have a picnic shoulder pork here. It's bone in. You want to make sure if you're going to make it that you get the bone in. Disclaimer, I'm not going to actually be cooking it today. I'm just going to be marinating it, because you're really supposed to marinate it at least 24 hours, up to 48 hours. I'm going to cook it on Sunday, since I'll have a little bit more time. And I'm just going to be preparing it so that I could easily pop it in the oven on Sunday. So yeah, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the pork, and I'm going to pour some apple cider vinegar over it and let it sit in a bowl in the sink for a little. And basically that kills a lot of the germs that are on it. And not only does it do that, it also helps to soften the meat, and it helps to flavor it a bit. So you can use regular vinegar. I just figure apple cider vinegar, because, you know, pork, apples go together. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. Grab some stuff here. So, I don't know. I mean, I've made this quite a few times for parties. And you know what? Before I do this, I really want to wash it a little bit. I made this a lot for parties, and people like it. So why not show you how I make it? I really make it very traditionally. I don't add a lot of extra stuff. Wash all this nasty blood. Ooh. Splatters. And of course, I washed my hands a million times before I started. As I was prepping, I actually have some fresh stuff I chopped up to show you guys. And my fingers already smell like garlic. Wash my hands again here in a second. Let me do this. I'll put this on hot. Put this inside of the dishwasher. That soap fell off. Dishwasher. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save it, because we're going to be poking holes in it. Let's do it this way. Even though I'm going to be touching it again, I have to touch some other stuff, so it's very hot. I'm a psycho when it comes to washing my hands when I cook, so. Anyway, let's put this giant picnic pork. Got a fresh thing of apple cider vinegar. And I'm just going to pour it over it. Again. Pour it over it. Just let that sit. Alright. So, without getting soap on the pork, let's wash my hands. Sit in the sink. Hold on, I gotta get a new paper towel. Alright, so something new that I'm gonna be trying is the annatto seed oil for the pork. It's not new for me to use it, but it's new for me to use in this recipe. And I just wanted to try it because it does add a little bit of a better flavor. It adds a little bit of extra color. So, put this away. Let's grab my garlic and my oregano. And all my seasonings are falling out. Yay. I prepped enough for this, but I guess it did not. Let's see here, I have adobo. Adobo without pepper. And I have oregano. And I have some other stuff I'll show you in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I have these annatto seeds. Let's see if there you go. They're whole annatto seeds. And basically, you really can't eat these. These are hard. What you do is you add them to a bit of olive oil or any kind of oil that you're cooking with. And it's going to add a little bit of flavor. And it's going to add some color to whatever it is you're making. So I don't need a whole lot of it. I'm just going to be using a little bit. So I'm putting a little bit of oil. That amount of seeds. Maybe I'll use a tiny bit more oil because some of it is going to evaporate. So there we go. So that's it. Again, I'm not a measuring type of person. I'm just going to put it on the stove and heat it for only a few minutes. You gotta watch out because these really do burn. And not only do they burn, they start popping. So you put it on low, and that's that. What am I gonna need here? I'm gonna need some gloves. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to make a Sofrito, fresh, which I just chopped all these up before so you guys didn't have to watch me do it. But basically, this is red onion, one red onion, one white onion, a whole bunch of cilantro just from ShopRite or Stop and Shop, one red pepper, one green pepper, and a whole lot of garlic that I just crushed it with a knife because I'm going to put it into my Ninja blender. So, I have my blender ready. Again, this is all fresh. I hate when my camera does that. It's trying to zoom in or it's trying to focus or whatever it's trying to do. I just did this before when I was making my dinner. It's just one red onion chopped, one white onion chopped, a whole bunch of cilantro. You just get the bunch from the store, the stems and everything. One red pepper, one green pepper, and then, I don't know, probably about 8 cloves of garlic. And I just feel like when you crush them just a little bit with the knife, it makes the flavor better. Also, these are all from an actual clove of garlic, not the bag. The bag is good sometimes when you're using it, if you're going to be slicing it up. I don't know. If you have the time, I suggest that you use a whole clove and actually take the time to take them out. The flavors are so much better, especially for this recipe. This is something new I'm doing for this recipe. Usually I just do the garlic, the oregano, and I mix it in some olive oil, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. I'm adding this because, hey, why not? I'm trying something new. And the annatto seeds as well, which are over here starting to turn the oil orange. And they're starting to simmer a little bit. So this thing is great if I can get it to go on. I don't know what the problem is right now. It should go on right like this. That's why. Duh. One of the lids. No. locks a certain way or it will not work. Alright, so I have that on. I'm sorry, this is a bit, see my little cute plant things? This is a bit tight over here. Anyway, these seeds are boiling. And in the meantime, this is going to get loud. Pour all of this into the blender. Oh, it's not even going to fit. I figured it would be the same size. Look at all that goodness. It's a lot of stuff, huh? I'm going to push it down. It's going to take a while to actually blend it because that is tank full. Alright. Put this over here. Now I'm stopping these annatto seeds because they will burn easily. And I'm going to strain them out and just leave the orange oil. It's flavored. And where am I going to put it? I didn't think that one through, huh? I'm going to put it in here. Hopefully it doesn't melt it. This is good to use for hot or cold things, so I'm hoping it doesn't melt. But we'll see. Let's see here. I want to really cool it off. I'm going to strain it. So you can see I just used a little mini strainer. And you see how orange that oil is? Oh, one of them got in. One of them snuck in now. I'll get it out in a minute. Alright, so before this melts, what I want to do is actually strain it back through. Make sure they're all out. And I'm going to take this and put it back over on the stove on a cool pilot. And put these into the dishwasher. I can smell it. Definitely does have a potent smell to it. And alright, so we have the annatto oil, which is an orange oil. It's going to add a little bit of flavor and color. We have the Sofrito mix inside of the blender, so be prepared for it to get loud. Sorry in advance. Got my Ninja blender. Hopefully it's not too full. We'll see what happens. Alright. We're going to put it on. See the magic. Push some of that down, but it's gonna be so good. Let's put this back to regular. Lean it down so we can see everything going on and not so much of me. Alright, so what am I gonna use? This. Open it, push some of this down. It's looking really yummy. And it smells literally amazing. I'm actually going to probably use some of it also to use with my empanadas. I have to add a little bit of vinegar to it now. A little bit of lime juice. A juice of a whole lime here. It smells amazing. I just love cilantro, so I guess that's what it is. So we're going to do a juice of a whole lime. I just added a little bit of vinegar, regular distilled white vinegar. But the lime juice is really important. Again, in here I had a red onion, a white onion, whole bunch of cilantro, and when I say that, I literally mean a whole entire bunch that you get from the store. They're pre-bunched up, and you leave the stems and everything because they have a lot of flavor, vitamins, and all that good stuff. About 8 cloves of garlic that I peeled before, and then 1 red and 1 green pepper. And I have the Pernil right now soaking in some vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And I have to add a little bit of water. Not a lot though, so I'll start off. It was about a half cup of water. Close this back, close it up. Show you. I'm gonna add a couple more things to it. Oh, smells amazing. You could use this for so many different things. I don't think you could see the great color here. It looks kind of just like brown, but you can see all the pieces of the cilantro color and everything. It just looks amazing. So I am gonna add a little bit of adobo to it as well, just for that little extra flavor. Not a lot. And then a little bit of oregano. But I mean, other than that, it's perfection. Okay. That's it. So we have our fresh Sofrito there. Blender, and you don't have to do this part at all. Actually, usually I do not do it, but I needed Sofrito anyway, so that I can, this has cups to it, so I can use it for my empanadas sauce that I'm making. So why not? Might as well go the extra step today. This way. Now, garlic. The one thing about Pernil, again, I don't pronounce it correctly, ha ha ha, it's fine, is that it takes a lot of garlic. So, I'm going to actually be using gloves today because it's so hard to get the garlic smell off. I went through and I chopped these little garlic cloves here, but I want to show you guys some things. So, let's see if you can see this. Is that in the view? Sure. Alright, so I don't need all of these garlics. I have so many heads of garlic all the time because I use them all the time. But the main thing when you're using a clove of garlic is to hit down until they come apart. I usually do it in the bag because it could be a mess. And I did a majority of them here. You could see, I don't know, probably this was 2 cloves. I'm going to do 1 more clove right now. I didn't want to waste all your time by sitting here peeling garlic. But basically, I just wanted to show you the simple way to do it. And I hate these. You know what? I've been using Instacart, which is great because I did find that, first of all, my kids have COVID, so I'm not trying to spread it to a bunch of people by going places. Secondly, I realized that even though they charge a fee for Instacart, I don't know, it winds up maybe like $10 more than I would have paid if I went myself. However, it actually winds up cheaper because of the fact, let me put all these in here, that I would have added so many other things to my cart. And I know that I would have because I do it all the time. I always go shopping hungry. Even if I'm not hungry, I get hungry while I'm shopping. and I would have added so many other unnecessary things. So I do wind up spending less by using Instacart. But what I was going to say was they pick out the garlic for me. And that's not always good because I don't know about you guys. I know you can use the garlic when it has the little shoots in it. I hate it. To me, it makes it taste more bitter. So I take the time to actually take each of them out because they're literally a sprouting a new piece of garlic. But they're very bitter. So I take the time to take them out. Anytime I see those little green shoots, they're gone. My hands are going to smell like garlic from cutting these. They already do from before. But I'm still going to wear gloves when I actually put it on the pork because that's where it really gets nitty gritty all in your hands and your nails. And ugh, it doesn't leave. Garlic smells good, but now it's stuck on you. So again, you're going to need a ton of garlic for this. So buy at least 3 cloves of garlic. I have a lot more here and I already peeled 2 cloves. An easy way to peel these too, you can put them in a bowl or 2 bowls. You put them in a bowl, put another bowl on top of it and shake it like that. I don't know, for me, I'm just so used to doing it this way, it doesn't bother me. As long as you cut 1/2 of it off, the rest of it's going to peel real easily. So that's, as you see how I'm doing it, that's another easy way to do it. But again, this is an extra step because the garlic that they chose for me happen to have little shoots in it. And you really can't tell from the outside, so it's not their fault. Again, some people might just throw them in like that. I'd be my guest, but I'm a perfectionist and I don't do that. So, take these out. And they're definitely bitter, in my opinion. Alright, and then I got 1 more from this. And then I'm gonna crush this up with some oregano and a little bit of olive oil. And again, I'm not cooking this today. It's obviously too late. I plan to cook it on Sunday. I just wanted to do the marinating part today because this is the part. I understand if you're intimidated to do it. It's really easy though. I'm intimidated to make like a whole chicken because I feel like I'm going to dry it out. I've done it before with a turkey. And it's just so easy to buy a rotisserie chicken. Why even bother? To be honest, it's really cheap. But I feel you. I don't really like to cook whole chicken. So people who don't like to cook a whole pork, I get it. But pork is really forgiving because you can cook it longer than you're supposed to and it just makes it better. So just throw this out. Garlic makes your hands really sticky. So be prepared for that. So there's going to be a ton of garlic. It smells so good. But it's going to make the dish amazing. When you do eat it though, don't go around too many people because it's offensive, the garlic smell that's going to be stuck on you. This will be my last one. Once you cut a piece of the garlic, like I said, the shell of the garlic will come right off. So this is a little paring knife. I like these little knives for cutting veggies and stuff like that. So anyway, rinse this. We're not going to use this one to poke the pork though. Put my garlic away. Okay. I like to keep a clean work area. Just something I learned in baking. And then now that oil is cooling, we want it to be cool. It's right here. We want it to be cool because we don't want to heat up the pork. So this is cooling. Actually, I might put it in the refrigerator. I really am serious. I don't want it to heat the pork up when it goes on it. Alright, so now we have 3 full heads of garlic in here. Take this off. This is oregano. Again, I don't measure, but you just need a lot of oregano. So whatever is a lot to you, that's what you do. So my adobo, I'm not going to put it on here because I'm going to add a little bit later. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil just to blend all the flavors together. Not a whole lot. A little bit. Okay. Now I do have a mortar and pestle, but to be honest, I hate it. I hate using it, so I don't. So instead, I'm using my little food chopper, and I'm going to add a little bit of this nice fresh Sofrito that we made to make it more into like a paste instead of dry. And basically, the more you blend it, the more it emulsifies and turns into a paste. So, it smells great. You can see it's more paste-like. And this is going to be our Pernil seasoning. So we've had it soaking. Take this off. It's harder to do on camera because I'd be moving all over the place. I'm trying to stay in this little location. We've had it soaking in the vinegar. We have vinegar inside of our Sofrito. And the sticker doesn't want to come off this cutting mat. I really don't use a cutting mat. I use random things. I'm just going to put it this way. I'm just doing it to put the pork on so you could have a better view. Otherwise, I would really just do this inside of the bowl that it's in, because that's where I'm going to put it back anyway. But, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, so it's been soaking for about 15 minutes. You can soak it longer if you want. I'm going to clean this whole surface area after. Clean this bowl up. I'm going to put it back in this bowl to marinate. But I don't want that outside of the bowl to have pork and stuff on it, because it's going to go in my refrigerator for a couple of days. I want it to be nice and clean. Dry. The inside doesn't really matter, right? Because pork is going right back into the inside. But the edges, some more hot water. Okay. Put it right back here because it's going to go back in there. Alright. Now is where I'm going to start stabbing the pernil, and basically take all your, I guess, frustration from the week or whatever out on it. Now I can't get my hand in this glove, so that's what I'm frustrated about. My hands are wet. I should have thought of that, right? And the only reason I'm wearing gloves, you don't have to, because the garlic really gets up in your fingernails, this garlic, when you're doing this, and it will make a mess of your hands, and it's very hard to clean it off. So anyway, okay, finally, that's a crab. So now we have the pernil here. I'm gonna add a little bit of adobo. This is just adobo without pepper, no reason. I did put pepper inside of my no, I didn't actually put it inside of the Sofrito. We don't really need pepper here. There's a little bit of pepper. There you go. Anyway, take the knife that we have here, and we're going to really deeply stab inside. There's a bone too, so you got to watch, but stab as deep as you can, because these are the holes that we're going to be filling. So we're going to be filling these holes that we're stabbing with all of the nice fresh paste that you just made from your fresh garlic and oregano. And again, you don't have to make Sofrito, you don't have to do any of that. You literally just have to crush up garlic with oregano, put some oil to make it into a little bit of a paste. I do have a mortar and pestle, but to me, they're really annoying to use, and I only use it when I make guacamole, because it doesn't make much of a difference for the garlic for me with this. So doesn't really matter for me. But the more holes you put, if you've ever eaten pernil, you know when you have the nice piece that has like the seasoning on it, that's where it comes from, because when you poke through the meat and you fill it with all this stuff, including sometimes I'll do cloves of garlic. In this case, I'm not, because I did do the extra sofrito, all that. I'm going to rub it on it, and I want to really pack that in there. But whenever you're eating it and you have that nice seasoning piece that you see all the green from the oregano, and it just tastes so good, that is where it comes from. So I've had it so many different ways. I mean, when I used to work on Staten Island, we used to get it from a Dominican place that they have over there for lunch all the time. I really miss it. But I've had it a bunch of different ways. I had it at parties. It's always really good. But you can tell when people put a little bit of extra effort into it. You don't ever want to make it too salty, because you can always add salt. So really, to any of this, you haven't seen me really add any salt. The only salt I had is some garlic salt that I put into the sofrito. I think I did, at least maybe I didn't. Okay, so maybe I don't even have any salt. Anyway, let's poke this through. Now, when you cook it, you're gonna cook it with the skin side up, because two reasons. Sorry, this part is a little bit tougher. Don't get scared, I do this all the time with a knife. It's a little bit tougher to do because it's actual pig skin, but you want it to be nice and crispy when you're done with this. And they call it what? Chicharron. Again, I can't say that. Probably laugh at me, but you want it to be nice and crispy, because I don't know if you've ever had pork rinds, but that's exactly what it is. It's just pig skin. Now, I do this all different ways. I'm just trying to show you guys easily how you can do it without wasting a lot of time and effort. Sometimes I'll take it and literally cut the skin off. I'm just going to poke this a little bit more. I put some deep holes, but I'm going to put a few more. Sometimes I'll take it and cut the whole fat cap off. I'm going to do a little bit of it right now just to show you. But this is another thing I found you really don't need to do. I used to think you have to do it to get a crispy skin, but you don't have to do it. I'm just going to do it a little bit, not the whole thing, just a little bit in the front, so I can peel back a little and poke some holes in here. But if you don't want to, just leave it exactly as it is. I've done that too, and it comes out perfect. The skin still comes out crispy. The meat underneath still has all the holes poked because you went so deep through it, so it doesn't even matter if you do it or not. If you want to do it, be my guest. But all these holes are going through the whole thing. More holes, the better. Okay. So, that's that. Alright. So, where I'm going to start is I'm going to start with this side, taking my paste, and I'm going to find any of the holes that I made and just start poking this through. And this is mainly garlic, a little bit of the fresh sofrito that I made, some adobo in it. When I'm done with this, I'm actually going to put the annatto oil because it has more flavor, or more oily flavor. Any crevices, anything that you can shove this into, do it. Just gonna flavor the meat more. So all these little holes we took the time to make. Now I gotta take the time to fill them, or else it's pointless. Obviously you want to flavor the outside too, but the holes, I'm telling you, they're very important. They flavor so much of the meat. And you could take and put whole garlic cloves in it, because I do that a lot. And this time I think I'm done cutting up or getting any garlic. I don't feel like it, so I'm not. But any of these holes, again, this is why I wear gloves. You know how much this would be inside of my nails right now? So much. Any hole that you made, fill it. Find it and fill it. You could always add more holes if you don't have enough. But just pushing it on here too and pushing it down. It'll basically find it for you. But the deeper that you can get into the pork, the better off you'll be with flavor when you're done. Again, if I wasn't doing this on camera, I would just be doing it right inside that bowl. I'm just trying to show you guys. So, pack it in. And I'm gonna smother this with the oil as well. But look at this, so nice. All the nice green, whenever you're eating it, you see it. It's all this oregano, garlic. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Sometimes I'll score the top too. I mean, I made this probably over 20 times. Sometimes I'll score the top. Again, I don't really find that it does too much. It honestly makes it harder to eat it, the chicharron, in little squares, and it makes it not as crispy. I feel like when you leave it on it, you get the nice bubbly crispiness. When you heat it at a higher temperature at the end of your cook, you're gonna get that nice bubbly chicharron. A lot of people do score it. It looks nice, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, ultimately, it's all about how it tastes. So, none of that matters. And if you're intimidated to make it, start basic. Stab it. I'm going to fill it inside of here, too. All these holes that I made. All of them. All in there. You can pull the whole fat cap back if you feel like cutting it away. Another thing, I don't find it really does anything. Now I'm gonna fill it in here. Now this is gonna marinate for almost 48 hours. You see I'm making a mess of my counter even with this cutting board, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be cleaning the whole thing up because it's disgusting. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? When you cook. So, I just thought of one thing, that I don't want to take these gloves off until I'm done, but I can't get the oil out, so. Tyler! Can you help me really quick? What? Because I have these gloves on and I'm doing my live, can you get me my oil out of the refrigerator, please?
Oil out of the...
It's in the refrigerator right here. Be careful because it might be hot. That pot, just hand it to me because I don't want to touch it with... Thank you. Give it to me like this. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to pour some of this nice orange annatto oil onto this. It's going to help crisp up the skin when the skin is ready for crisping. And let me see here. That's some nice color. And it really does smell good. You can do the same thing over here, why not? This is my first time using this for this, so. But you know this is going to be slamming all this garlic. Offensive amount of garlic, to be honest. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so it has the lime juice from the Sofrito that we made. And it has the tons of garlic. It has a bunch of holes. You basically have to massage the meat. I'm not even kidding. Get it all into the meat. All inside these crevices. The bone is right here. It's all going to fall off the bone. So, this is it, guys. It's going in here. Look at this mess. Look at this mess. Alright, so what do? I'm going to take these off. You have no idea, I hate messes, so this is nice and clean. So we're going to move it over. Well, let's see. This is that pernil that's going to be marinating. And tell me why I almost dropped it off the stove. That would have been terrible. Alright, so I'm just going to clean all this up. And I'm going to cover it. It's clean because you never want to have a yucky mess after. It just makes you all crazy while you're cooking. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like to cook, I would venture to say, because cleanup is annoying. But if you clean while you go, then you don't have to worry about it. Alright. Here. And we got some on the microwave. Put it in here. Okay. Now it's our all-purpose cleaner. Clean this crap up. Sorry I'm doing with you guys on live, but I cannot leave it because I will go crazy, and I still have to wrap. I go through probably more paper towels than anybody all day. Constantly out of paper towels because all I do is clean when I cook. I don't like to clean, but I clean when I cook. So, anyway, hopefully that was a simple tutorial for you guys. You can venture with whatever flavors you want. I would say don't make it too salty because you could always add salt. And that's coming from somebody who really is a fan of salt. My mom has been putting salt on stuff since I was younger. I used to make my food and always put salt on it whether I liked it or not. So I just wouldn't want you to ruin it. The cilantro and the sofrito add so much, and the adobo has some salt in it. So, and typically when I'm done, when I cook it and shred it, then I will add a packet of sazon. But since I did the sofrito this time, the homemade one, I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you guys know when it comes out. Maybe I'll do a live when it comes out of the oven, and I'm going to shred it. I'll do a live to show how that came out. Put this here. Sorry, all my seasonings are falling out of my cabinet. Put this away. Okay. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pernil that we just seasoned, and if you didn't see it, you can see it now. Nice seasoned. I don't know why the camera does that. And it smells really good already. You just gotta clean everything up. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna take some tin foil. And I do have plastic wrap somewhere in here. Here it is. Some plastic wrap and tin foil because we're gonna smell up my whole refrigerator like garlic, which is fine. But, I mean, after a while it does become like, okay, enough is enough. Put it here. So we're going to do plastic wrap and tin foil both. Okay. So anybody that's watching, if you have any questions, let me know. I assumed a lot of people can't watch it this time because of whatever reason. I originally had it for Sunday, and a lot more people wanted to watch, but I had to change it because I'm like, duh, I'm going to cook it on Sunday, so if you want to see it be marinated, we have to do it right now. So, a giant thing I have to find some room in my refrigerator for. But yeah, so that's it, and even better, now I have, I don't even think it's going to fit in there, to be honest. Now I have all this sofrito to save. Where can I put it? Because I'm going to use it. I'm going to freeze some of it, but I'm trying to think of where. For somebody that cooks a lot, I sure lose a lot of Tupperware. I lose more Tupperware than most people have in their life, I think. This is going to be too small, but anyway, I'm going to store this sofrito away that we made, and that's it. Talk to you guys soon.